Do you all guys remember the Simple One electric scooter that was showcased over a year back? The one with all those class-leading figures and a 200 plus kilometer real-world riding range? Well, it's been over a year and we have finally gotten a chance to get our hands on this scooter. Welcome to our first ride review of the Simple One electric scooter, in which we find out whether or not this lives up to all those bold claims. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up, share this video with like-minded enthusiasts, subscribe to the Evo India channel and click on that bell icon to stay notified on all things thrill of riding. Alright, now let's start with the design of this scooter. Now this is a pretty sharp looking scooter and I'm pretty sure you would agree with that. In my opinion, this is the perfect blend of something that you could expect from the future and also a mix of what you can currently see on sporty ICE scooters that are out there in the market right now. If the eagle-eyed among you would have noticed that the design has changed ever so slightly, or as Simple likes to put it, has evolved a little to better aid the performance from the one that was showcased at launch to the one we have here right now. But nevertheless, it still looks striking. As you might also have noticed, there aren't any rear view mirrors here right now. That is because this is still a final prototype. This is not exactly what you're going to get in your production scooter. So there are a few things that are off, like the build quality, the panel gaps. There are quite a few of them and we have been promised that this will be rectified by the time deliveries start. So let's give them the benefit of the doubt for the time being. But in terms of design, this is an extremely striking scooter. You have a sharp front end with a triangular headlight unit up front and these two DRLs, like almost robot eye looking DRLs on the front head section of the scooter. Behind that, you have this nice crisp 7-inch color TFT touchscreen infotainment system. This is pretty easy to use. It's touchscreen, you can switch to the ride modes and everything. And then you have your handlebar with all your switch gear. Again, like I said, this is the final prototype, so the fit and finish is not up to the mark. But again, this is something that we have been promised will be rectified. Now, in terms of seating, this is a fairly comfortable scooter to sit on. Someone of my height can sit comfortably, but I did find that my knees were hitting the handlebar while taking a U-turn. This is something that Simple is saying will be taken care of by shaving off a certain bit of the seat, and also this hump will be reduced slightly so a taller rider can sit slightly behind to ensure that the handlebar doesn't come in their way. So if that does happen, even taller riders will be fairly comfortable on this scooter. There is enough room in the footwell, so your feet are also comfortably placed on this bike the whole time. In terms of storage, well, this is a scooter, so it has to have some practical amount of storage. You have 30 liters of boot space under the seat and this is extremely usable. Now this 30 liters is apart from the detachable battery that is already there, and my full face helmet unfortunately didn't fit, but it didn't fit by a very small margin. So in most cases, full face helmets, half face helmets for sure will fit comfortably inside this. And just like the front end, you also have an extremely striking rear end with two separate LED strips that make up the tail light of this scooter. Now there are 4 colors available. The one we're riding ironically is called Namma Red, which is a striking red color, and the other 3 colors should be on your screen right now. What do you think of the design of the Simple One scooter? Let me know in the comment section below. Alright, now let's get to what both you and me have been eagerly waiting to find out about the Simple One electric scooter, and that is how it performs. This has one of the biggest batteries in the EV segment, in the two-wheeler segment right now. It comes with a 4.8 kilowatt battery setup, and now this is split between a fixed battery and a removable battery. And the boot storage also has space to house a second detachable battery, which should pump your range up quite a bit. Now the ARAI tested range of this scooter is roughly 236 kilometers, but Simple is promising that you can get around 205 kilometers out of a single charge. Now sadly we had very little time with the scooter, so we can't verify whether or not it can do that distance, but from what the meters were telling us, I'm pretty sure you can get very close to that 200 kilometer figure. In terms of power outputs, you have 4.5 kilowatts of nominal power, this is continuous power, and it peaks out at around 8.5 kilowatts, and this is backed by a whopping 72 Newton meters of torque. That is unlike any other scooter out there. And do you feel that performance when you're out riding? You definitely do. There are 4 modes to choose from. You have an eco mode, a ride mode, a dash mode, and then finally the sonic mode, which is the full-blown performance mode. And as the modes go up, your performance does increase, but obviously your range decreases. Now, what do I think about the performance of this scooter? It is pretty nice. It is very close to what they were claiming in terms of performance. Since over the year that they have launched this product, they have made some tweaks to the performance to alter it and to improve performance. And the claimed 0 to 40 time has gone down from 2.96 seconds to 2.77 seconds. Again, something I would like to verify with the V-Box once we get the scooter for a longer period of time. But from riding it initially, it does feel like it could achieve that. With my weight in a short stretch of space, I could easily do 80 kilometers per hour without any stress, and it was still just going relentlessly. The only reason I couldn't do more was because I pretty much reached the end of the road. So in terms of performance, yes, it is pretty close to what Simple claims that it does have. Now, how this holds up over the long run is something we need to test out, but our initial testing and our initial experiences have proved that this is an extremely exciting scooter to ride. Alright, so we have established that this is a fast scooter, but if your scooter is fast, you need one that can handle well as well. And on that department, Simple has delivered pretty well. You have a 12-inch wheel setup, a telescopic fork setup up front, and a monoshock at the rear. And this all ties together to make a really nice, comfortable ride. Now again, the property that we are riding in right now doesn't really have any imperfect roads or speed breakers that I could really test the capability of the suspension with, but whatever minor little bumps I could find or the gap between the two pavements, I tried to take the scooter over there and it did perform rather well. Now this is a final prototype of the scooter, so there are some flaws that we have been promised will be addressed. One of which is there's a slight flex when you're braking hard. The front end just slightly, your handlebar section just goes a little. This is something we have been promised would be fixed, and they know what the reason is already, so they're working on fixing that. In terms of braking, you get discs at both ends which have bi-brake calipers mounted on them. Now this braking setup is pretty good. You get linear bite and your feedback is pretty positive through and through. At no point does the scooter get unsettled. And another extremely good thing which not many electric vehicles do is that when you do press the brake, the power doesn't cut off. And that is a very good thing, and in fact that's a good safety feature also, because when you are navigating a U-turn or you're taking a tight corner and you do press the brake in some throughout the corner, if the power cuts out, you lose your momentum and you lose the line that you're taking. Whereas this, the power stays on and you can gradually take your corner however you choose to. So that is a very good thing. Apart from that, you get MRF Zapper end tires which performed rather well in my short time riding it. It gave a lot of cornering confidence, but the only thing that is holding this back in terms of cornering is its cornering clearance. Now the engineers at Simple have told that they are trying to work around this and they're trying to improve the cornering clearance by reshaping the plastics around that, but whether or not that will happen by the time production begins is something we can't comment on just yet. Another thing while talking about the ride and handling is that this gets a regen system, but as of right now it is just a stage 1 regen system which you don't really feel. Engineers say that it's a 3% regen system when you roll off throttle and you're just coasting. It is not something that I could really perceive, but we have been promised that there will be a more aggressive regen map that will be there closer to production. When you roll off the throttle and you take the throttle to negative position, you will feel a stronger regen and you will feel the equivalent of engine braking. So once that does come in, this will just feel like a more wholesome production. Alright, now that I've spent some time with the Simple One electric scooter, what do I think about it? Well, it's a well put together product that delivers on most of the claims that the company made at the time of launch. Granted, this is a pre-production scooter. The build quality is not the best. The 7-inch infotainment system doesn't have all the features that were promised up and running just yet. But Simple has promised that they will sort all those out before customers get this scooter in their hands. And if they do manage to do that, this is a very nice scooter because it outperforms most other scooters in terms of sheer riding thrills. It outperforms most electric scooters in terms of the amount of range that you have and the fact that you can add a secondary detachable battery and just swap that once you are out of range, just increases your riding range that much more and is a great step towards killing range anxiety altogether. So all in all, would I recommend that you spend your 1,10,000 rupees that Simple demands for this scooter? Well, if they hold up their end of the bargain and fix all these issues by the time it hits dealerships, this scooter definitely has my thumbs up. Would you like to see this scooter pit against its rivals, that is the Ola S1 and the Ather 450X? Let us know in the comment section down below, because that is definitely a story we look forward to doing. And you can also tell us what you think of the Simple One electric scooter in the comment section down below. In the meanwhile, thanks for watching.